Hello, welcome to Technical Founders. My name is Carlos Lara, software engineer and entrepreneur, and in this video, we will learn how to use XAML or XAML in Xamarin.Forms to allow us to write even more powerful mobile applications. Now, in the first video in this series, Introduction to Mobile Development with Xamarin.Forms, we briefly went over XAML and C# and how they work together in Xamarin.Forms, but in this video, we'll focus on XAML. Now, as we've done up until this point using C#, we can define all of our UI and write our apps entirely in C#, and we can. However, XAML allows us to write the user interface, the labels, the buttons, so what the user sees, in a very simple markup language. XAML stands for Extensible Application Markup Language, and it's very easy to see. It's very flexible. It just makes it a lot simple. So as Xamarin.Forms mobile developers, how we typically write a mobile app is we define the user interface in XAML and the behavior and what it must do in C#. So in the previous video, C# arrays and loops in Xamarin.Forms, as we see, in C# we created a label, a button, and a layout, a stack layout where we put our objects in. And then we had a little event here called on button click. So you click the button and then you have an array of integers, and integer 0 was added, 1, 2. So we have a loop. Now we will do the exact same thing, but now we will move our C# objects here to XAML. Now in Xamarin.Forms, every page that you have has two files associated with it. We have a .cs file or C# file, and you have a .xaml file. And as we see here, there's a partial keyword that tells us that there's actually two parts to this page. Now, up until this point for this app, we haven't done anything. This is the XAML file, and it's really empty at this point. Because we did everything in C#, but we'll go ahead and move these. But first, let's just go over the XAML file real quick. So we have first, this is just automatic. It's in every XAML page. So we have our content page, of course. That's our content page here. And then we have an XML namespace. That's XML-NS namespace. And this is just for Xamarin.Forms here in particular. This is all by default. It's already included. This is just the Microsoft one. This is like every XAML version has this. And then we have this, our local namespace, which is test tab is the name of our project. And we have the name of the class here, which is, this is the namespace, test tab, and then .test app page, which is our actual class here, test app page. So we have that. Now let's go ahead and move our code. So we have a label, a button, a stack layout. So first of all, the way XAML works is it works in a tree hierarchy. So we start with our content page, and then just like in C#, we have the page itself, and then inside we have the layout, the stack layout here, and then inside the layout we added the label and the button. So we'll do it in that order, and you'll see it's very easy to see. So how you create objects or initialize objects in XAML is you first open an angle bracket here. That's just the syntax. So the XAML syntax is very simple, and you get used to it very quickly. So here we'll say stack layout, and you see it's already there. Visual Studio brings it up, stack layout, and then you can just close it again, and you'll see the other end of the tag. These are called tags, markup tags here. So, and here, actually, let's give it a little bit more space. So here's where you would put your object. So you can go ahead and put, for example, label, and just close it again. And then you can put a button. There it is. And then here, and whatever, and you can put things inside. Typically, instead of opening and closing a tag fully like this, we have a shortcut or a shorthand. So for a stack layout here, we do need to open it completely. But for example, for a label, we can just say label, and then just close it right here. And this is the object already closed, because if you're not technically putting anything inside the label directly, this is just fine. button, and same thing, you can just close it. So the closing tag would have this backslash here, or forward slash rather. So that's the difference. The opening tag has only these angle brackets, and the closing will have this here to close it out. Now, so when would you want to use the other version? This one. It's one, for example, when you want to access something specific, a property of the label specifically, and do something very particular with that property. And as you see label dot, then you see all the properties that come up there. But in this case, we won't be needing it. We typically don't need it for label. That's only when you need more specialized control, but we'll keep it simple for now. So in C#, we had our label, button, and your stack layout, and we already have them. It's just so simple, and you see visually it's very nice because you see you have the content page, and then inside, and you see these lines, right? Inside you have your stack layout, and inside that stack layout you have your label and your button. So it's actually very easy to see visually. Here in C#, I mean, you can just read the C# and see what's going on, but here XAML is just very, very visual. It's very nice and very, very flexible. And we didn't need to do this, new, etc. This is a different syntax we just created, and XAML behind the scenes automatically does it for us. So what do we need? So for the label, we had a text property that said hello, which is hello universe from Technical Founders. So here we can just say text. See, the properties come up, so you can just start writing them inside the tag itself. So text, and you say equals. And in XAML, you always need quotes. Everything, whenever you assign a value to a property, it's always a string. And at runtime behind the scenes, XAML will actually convert it to the proper type. So here we want hello universe from Technical Founders. And you can just write it out here. Just make sure that that's what we had. Yes, we do. All right, and for the label, I think that's all we had. Yep, it was just the text property hello. So we can go ahead and remove it. We don't need the label anymore. And by the way, here this initialize component in the page constructor is really what initializes all of our XAML here, all of our markup here in the other partial class, the other part of the class. So the dream as Xamarin.Forms developers is to actually reduce the code behind page here, the constructor, to just an initialize component call. In practice, it's hard to do because typically you would want to use C# for other things. It really helps and adds, but I mean, it would be just very nice to just have it to initialize component, and we will be able to actually reduce this to just initialize component in this video. So we have our label. Now let's do our button. So we have our button. We have a text that says click me, so we can do that too. So here inside the button, we type text equals click me. Very, very simple. What else? And we had an event on button clicked here. So let's wire up that event here. So just do a space, and then more things come up. You see the events. So we want clicked, the clicked event equals, do the quotations as always. And this template, this method, handle click, comes up. You can change it. So let's double click it. And here it goes to the code behind, to the C# and asks you where you want the event handler. So let's just put it there. And as you see, you can actually delete this thing inside. We don't need it. And we already had an event handler here. So what we're going to do is we are going to just delete this method because we already have it here, but the name is onButtonClicked. So let's actually copy it. Let's go back here. And here, let's just replace it with a proper one, onButtonClicked. Okay, so we're good. Let's actually save that. So we have the text, the clicked. That's all we need. So let's delete our button in C# now. Let's actually delete our button here as well. And okay, we don't need the button here. We don't need to add it. And then the last thing is our stack layout. So we have our stack layout. Now we also need the vertical options and horizontal options properties there. And we can access them here as the others. So we have vertical options equals, open the quotations, and here you see all the options. So we had center. So we just need center. And for horizontal options, same thing, comes up, quotation marks, and the options come up, center, just like we had before. So we have these two properties taken care of. And then we had also a spacing of 30. So let's go ahead and add the spacing too. Spacing 30. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and save it. We don't need this anymore. the stack layout, we've added it. And then, so here when we're adding the stack layout to the content property of the page itself, here XAML does it automatically. If you put it inside the stack layout, inside the content page, it's automatically added to the content property. So we don't need this either. You'll see the code behind file, the C# file, now the other part of the class is now very clean. We've removed all of that code in C#. It's all reduced to an initialize component call method. This will actually go to the XAML and just initialize our stuff here. So let's go ahead and run, and let's see what we get. And your event handlers, your button click, your events, you actually do want them in code in C#. XAML is basically just for user interface related things. See, it looks exactly the same. We have the exact same thing. Let's actually go back here. And if you click, the same behavior is taking place. And we've successfully done what we wanted to do, what we want to do as Xamarin.Forms developers. We created the user interface, the label, the button, etc., the layout, the visual elements in the XAML file, and then in the associated C# file, we put the behavior, and in this case would be the unbutton clicked event, and where we perform the actual logic in C#. So that's an introduction to XAML or XAML and Xamarin.Forms. Again, you see the flexibility, very powerful, very simple to use, they're very visual, and using XAML and C# together will give us the ability to write very powerful mobile applications in a much simpler way than just using C#. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any comments, please leave them at the bottom. Also, please subscribe so you're the first to be notified. And thanks again, and I'll see you next time.